All right, what's going on to YouTube? It's going to be Donnie coming to you from Asao, Japan. Got one of my guys that we've been buddies online for a while. We talked a few times here and there, but this is our first actual conversation. So I got my guy Travis Griffith, right? Griffith, correct? Last name?
Yeah.
All right, I want to call you Griffin or like Forrest Griffin or something like that. But cool, man. Like I said, guys, before we get into Travis, I'll let him introduce yourself in a second. Just be sure to send your questions and everything to podcast at pinkustyle.com. If you guys would like to be a guest on the podcast, like I said before, all my guys out there collectively, we're all buddies. If you got a story to share, something to promote, or just want to, just talk or get to meet each other, because I got all you guys on Facebook and Instagram, but I never get to we don't get to talk. And anything. And also for the guys out there, if you're still in the reading magazines, just be sure to go to pinkustyle.com. This is the 2012 last time. This is 2020, one of the last one for the last year. So if you want to get that whole subscription for pretty cheap, one time shipped, just let me know. Check out the website, pinkustylestore.com. And also if you want to get the 2021 subscription, check out the same thing too. It's a little bit more higher because I got to ship each magazine out and everything, so we could do that. And I will do a giveaway here shortly. I'll do another video on that. So just getting past that again, my guest here again, thanks for being on the show today, Travis. Before we get started and get into the talking, man, because I got a bunch of questions for you. Just tell everybody like a little bit about you, where you're from, how you got into the car game, and we'll go from there.
Okay. My name is Travis Griffith. I'm from the Midwest, I guess, Iowa. It's kind of the middle of nowhere. It's it is what it is.
Yeah.
It's kind of drift scene. It's kind of different here compared to a lot of other places around the country. But it's pretty lit for what it is, I guess. And yeah, I got into cars like way back in the day, like in I don't know, I guess like early 2000s. I guess you can trace it all the way back to there. But I mean, just as far as being into cars, that's growing up. I guess my dad had cars, so it kind of starts there. But it's it's evolved into what I'm at today, I guess. Yeah.
I mean, and that's the biggest thing too, man. As I see it, you're one of the people who think I guess when it comes to like motivation, stuff like that. Like, I mean, I'm pretty motivated, pretty always. I can motivate myself. Like I was in the shop till 4:00 last night. Just, other tasks, other projects keep me motivated, keep working. But man, like you're one of the few guys, man, that like I see your work always, man. Awesome work, man. You're very meticulous, and I think the reason why I cling to it, man, because there's so many hacks out there, and when people actually take their time and like your S14 R34 like build or whatever, man, it's like people like, man, get it done, and like I think you're like me. I'd rather just wait until I got time to dedicate to it and get it done, man. So like, and getting into like the building and fabrication, man, what led you towards that stuff, man?
Well, when I was in high school, I got a job at the local, I don't know, people call it a speed shop. It was a race car shop, I guess. And when I was 17, so I would go to school. Then I would go there after school, and I would work. So like they kind of started me there, and that's kind of how like I got into like the whole thing. Like it just, I don't know, it's just luck of the draw, I guess. Like it's nothing. I don't know. It's so weird because like, yeah, I don't know. That's where it started at.
Yeah. I mean, like, so is it, did you like start doing fabrication as like a means for yourself when it just started? Because I mean, I see you like, you got a good amount of clients over there, man, and guys getting cages done and all types of stuff, man. So did it evolve in like you doing stuff for yourself first, and then you're like, hey, man, make some money off of it?
Well, it started out like, I started because I really liked racing and I liked race cars, and I wanted to build the cars and I wanted to do the cages. And but then like my first car was an S12. So, like, I was always doing things to that. Like, I made, like, hoods and stuff and did things. But, like, that was back before, like, it was cool. And, like, people were, like, doing things to those cars because it was very a Honda scene in the early 2000s. So, I was kind of, like, in my own little world, which I always kind of am. So, yeah, I mean, as far as the money aspect of it, I never really looked at it from back then to now as, like, this is something I can make money off of. It's just something I enjoy doing and trying to modify things and make it something different to where I thought it was cool.
Yeah, I mean, you're one of the guys, man. I show like I got a bunch of Japanese. I got more Japanese friends here than I got American or foreigners, and like I'll pull up your page a bunch, man. Like, cause I'll be in conversation and Japanese will ask me like, how did I get started and do this, and I'm like, dude, you know, Americans, man, we all got one car garage. We'll make a garage. We'll do what we got to do, and then they were like, they don't get it, and then I'll show your profile. I'm like, dude, this is a guy, you know, got a house garage, man, and like. Your setup and everything is better than shops, man. Like, there's a lot of people like that think you got to have this big ass building and all these tools and all this crap, and you know they don't put out stuff, man. So like, I'm pretty sure you share the same ideas in that, man. And when guys come to you, I'm pretty sure they're shocked at what you can produce out of like, you know, your space that you have, man.
Yeah. Well, I mean that just developed from me going to Japan and seeing what they there. And then coming back home and then going, well, I don't need all that space to do all those crazy things that everybody over here is trying to do. I don't need some big elaborate setup where it's like an eye shocker or whatever, you know? It's like you can make do with what you got if you really want to do it. It's about having heart at the end of the day, you know? And like I think that's something I picked up on just going to Japan and being around everybody there and just seeing it, you know? So that's just kind of how I live it here, you know? Because like I want to do it, and so it just, you know, it stems from them to here to there. You know, it's a circle.
Yeah. What years? What time frame did you come to Japan?
I came to Japan first in 2009, and I stayed with my friend Ran Wakatusuke on Yokohama. I stayed with him and his family for like 2 weeks, and then I came back in I think it was 11. And I hung out with Ren again, and I stayed with my old my old next door neighbor from Iowa City. She lives there in Nagoya. So, yeah, then I came back like 2 other times. I came back in 13 and 15, all to Nagoya, but I usually travel around while I'm there. You know, she gives me the couch to sleep on.
Yeah, I got you, man. And like, I'm just curious, man. Like, but if you remember, how much did you spend? Like, how much did you spend like on those plane tickets for that time frame, like 2009 to like your last time, man? I'm just curious.
So like in 2009, that was like the cheapest one. It was like $800, I think. And then I think when I came in 2011, I spent it might have been $1,200 or $1,500, but I remember I flew ANA, and I was like, I'll always fly ANA. Like that's like, you know, that's awesome. That's an awesome airline. Fly ANA if you ever get the chance. And then I think in 13 it was like 12, and then in 15 it was 12. Yeah, I think there was just one where I paid 15. Yeah.
Yeah, the reason I ask, man, because a lot of guys they it's like they want to come over here and they want to do stuff, and it's like I'm like, dude, just save all you gotta do is save. Like, I mean, I don't know, people's finances is different, and what they got, you know, what they gotta do is different. But I'm like, bro, just save, like, just don't buy like 3 pair of Jordans and you'll be able to come over here, man. And I tell dudes, once they get here, I got you, dude. I got cars. You can stay at my place. Like, you just got to get over here, man. So I'm pretty sure you'll come again, man. So you've been here. I've been here since 08, August 2008. So cool. I've been here every time you hear you, but like it's you know, down there is more appealing because that's where you see more of the car stuff. And Misawa is here, but it's like it's spaced out and you don't see it too much, man. So what's the furthest north? What's the furthest north you've traveled in Japan?
Only ever been to Tokyo because I only go where I have friends at, and like
right.
Like I never knew anybody that far north to go up there, you know.
Yeah, it's different, man. Like I highly recommend. I mean, again, you know, I'm here and everything, and I highly recommend the guys check out this because it's a whole different. It's still cars, but it's a different like it's a different pace. My shop here, like I told dudes, if I was in Tokyo with a shop this size, I'll be paying probably about $3 to $4 grand a month easily in rent. And it's like and I'm from Baltimore, man. So it's kind of when I first came to Misawa, I was kind of like, man, I want to be down there because Daikoku and all this stuff. But then I traveled there a bunch, and being out of the city, man, it's I actually like it. I like being up here, man. It's safer, it's more spacious, and yeah, man. It's
like when I went to Liberty Walk, like it's kind of like out there in the middle of nowhere, kind of like in Nagoya. It's just in like some small town. Like there's like not a lot around it. It's just so then you're like, boom, Liberty Walk. It's like
yeah. Yeah, it just pops out of nowhere. That's the same thing with when I was lost one day, right? I was coming back from Tsukuba. I was at Tsukuba Circuit, and I was just lost, man. I was like the GPS was going crazy, and I just parked, dude. I wouldn't look. I just parked, right? Dude, I look up, and it was fucking what the fuck was the shop, man? They make arrow and stuff, man. I think it was I can't remember right now, but dude, it was a famous shop, dude, famous manufacturer. It'll come to me in my head. It was a shit. I looked over, I'm like, dude, no shit, like it's just right there, and I'm like, it's just in the middle of fucking like kind of nowhere. I'm like, dude, that's crazy, man. It was Velside.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Then when you look at it, you see it had one little Velside thing on the corner of the building, but you could tell the quality of the building, the gate, you could tell it was Velside.
Yeah. I don't know, man. It's like I don't know. The best things are just like off the beaten path, really. You know.
Yeah, I just it's a bunch of times, man, where I seen stuff here, and I'm like, dude, it's like when you go to the tracks. And did you go to any tracks while you were here, or any circuits?
I went to Twin Circuits for FD Japan. That's the only other one. There's another one by Nagoya that's off to the east, I think, or the west. I get so confused with my directions over there because you go so far.
Yeah.
East, I don't know, but I really wanted to go to that. I tried to go to it, but I couldn't get a ride. Yeah, because Abu Moon guys were over there because they're just south of Aichi there. Yeah, I can't remember the track name, but I really want to go to it. And like I see it all the time. I'm like, oh, that's that track I wanted to go to, but I can't think of the name of it.
Yeah, Aichi, man. Aichi, I go there a good amount because Aichi is like the capital for all the junk. Like, well, you've been to some of the junkyards here before. Or you just been any of the private ones?
I've never been to any of the junkyards there at all. I've definitely been to there's a shop in Nagoya south of there that was I can't think of the name of it off the top of my head, but they always had a bunch of smashed up cars, and I always go there to get stuff, you know.
Yeah, Aichi's like it's like most of the stuff I order comes out of there. So like all of the so I got my NSX from there for like $2,800 just the body. So they got they're not junkyards like in American terms. They're private. And so they'll have like the one yard where I got the NSX from was Porsches. It was like all of like the higher end cars, and they were just all cool ass racks. And they just stack them up on there they stack them up 12 high, and then they got another lot where they just got K cars, and they got like maybe some GTRs and Subarus. So they're kind of they're segregated based on the. It kind of reminds me of Gran Turismo. So you got like the groups. So it's pretty cool, but When I came here in 2008, man, I thought I was gonna make a shit ton of money, and I went to my local junkyard, which is only one of two in town. It was just all Subarus and not the cool Subarus. It was just like that was totally not So speaking on that, man, like when you came here, was there anything that shocked you overall in your time here, or anything that you seen that you weren't expected to see when you were here?
I think my first time, I don't know, like it's all so like I expect everything now, I mean, like I'm trying to think of like that first time I went there, like it was kind of culture shock, because like it was the first time I ever left the country or did anything,
Right.
And like I was just like, man, I can't think of like one thing specifically that sticks out in my head. Oh, I guess the only thing that really, because Ren had just gotten his license or whatever, and like he was like 22, and he explained to me like how much a license costs there to actually have. Like that was kind of shocking. Like 20 grand or something to get your license over there.
And that's also like automatic and manual too. It's different. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
But man, for as much as they fucking pay for those licenses, dude, they kind of get like the very basics of operating a vehicle. And like I've been here 12 years, man, and I still like they look at the non-threatening area first when they pulling out to traffic. and then they signal like right as they're gonna turn. Like in America, we got to signal what 200 yards or whatever before you turn. They like, all right, driving, left turn, bam, and you're like, what the fuck, dude? So yeah. So did you drive around physically yourself on the international what is it?
I've only ever driven once there, and that was Shogo's Gloria. It was a 1968 Nissan Gloria 3 on the tree. Yeah, we just drove around the parking lot. I've never ever actually driven a car in Japan other than in that parking lot. Yeah.
Well, cool. Like I say, I always extended towards the end of the podcast. It's not the end yet, but yeah, man, like definitely, like I know what the whole Corona stuff is even affecting me because I want to come over there. I'm looking at doing Formula Drift, and I want to come over there and do some filler events. But it's like I can't afford to be in quarantine both ways, man. That's almost that's 14 times 2. I'm not good with math, but that's a good amount of time that I'm away from my business, away from my family. So unfortunately, man, for me, I'm probably just going to be stuck here until everything is back to normal, quote unquote. You know what I mean? But but yeah, once everything unlocks, man, like I mean, and what's your projected? When do you think you're going to be back over here, man?
Back over there? I mean, every year is my hope because my friend always tells me Japan is always waiting for you, man. So every year is my hope. But like, I got other friends that around the world that I kind of want to go see. It's always like on like what to do sometimes. I got so much time to do one thing, and it's like and it's like I've been there a lot, and like I really enjoy it. And I'm like, I was like on a 2-year, like I'd go there once every 2 years, Yeah. And like I've been that, but I've been going to other countries instead. So, I hope every year is the year. So I can't really nail it down per se.
Where else have you been? Just this general, like automotive or whatever. Where else have you been in the world and stuff, man?
Spain. I got some good friends down there. And by Barcelona, they live I think it's like 3 hours south of Barcelona in a little town. And Jose and Carlos and missing names, but all those guys down there, like they're spot on guys, and they're really into cars. They got S14s and stuff, and definitely those guys a bunch. And Morton over there in Sweden with the CLK, he's another good guy. And and like they always want me to go back there. And Daniel, I guess he's down there in Malmö, Sweden, but like they always want me to go up there to in Norway, Gatsbill or whatever, and go up there and check it out.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. The I think it's with everything, man. Like cars and everything, man. It's like you don't even have to speak the language. It's just we know what the car does. Cars is a car, man. They got 2 pedals or 3 pedals, or sometimes 4 pedals, and the wheels on the left or the right. But they do the same thing. And that's one of the things you can go somewhere and like not even. I had Jake Jones on from Australia. And he was like, when he went to China, man, to drift, like they didn't even like verbally talk. They just kind of grunted and pointed, and they drank beers, and they got the job done. They just knew, if it's misfiring, it's probably their coil pack spark plugs, or there's a loose ground or something like that. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of cool, man. Where cars are international and like you kind of become buddies, unless you're a dickhead.
Exactly.
You kind of become buddies like instantly, just based off of. We go through the same crap and everything, man. So, but yeah, man, that's cool. Like I said, like I wasn't pressuring you to come over here, man, but I definitely know, like it's with the internet now, you got dudes all over now, so everybody want to see you, man, and see the stuff. So, but yeah, man, like far as the being that you're in the States and everything, and also like because we haven't really talked in the past. Like, did you work for any shops before, or did you do anything before you started your home garage, or how did that start up and everything for us to start there?
Well, I mean, I built race cars, which were dirt track cars here, I guess. I did that. Like, I think it was like I quit just shy of like 8 years. I think I quit building race cars in like 2008, way back when, and then I just kind of went on hiatus where I didn't do anything with cars. And then my cousin gave me his old S13, his hatch. I had to go out to their farm and dig it out, and then like that kind of like started the ball rolling again. And I worked third shift a lot, and then I was like, I I think it was what's his name over there in Australia, Nigel. Like I found his page like way back in like '09, and I was like looking at the stuff he's doing. I was like, I can do that. I used to do that, you know. And then it kind of just started the ball rolling again from there, you know. Like I was just like, I don't know. Back when I was trying to do it earlier on in the game, like just I don't know, man. Like I was a weirdo. And then like I was like seemed like it was like picking back up or something. Or, like it was a different, you know, a page had been turned or something, you know. So then yeah, I started diving back into it and working a little bit harder, you know. Yeah, I don't know.
It's crazy to see how everybody get their start with stuff like that. For me, again, I always bring it up, dude. I started with Gran Turismo is where I started. That's where my spark came for cars. Like I didn't have any dads, uncles, none of that stuff. I seen a few videos, and then the game came out. Then I was just playing the game, and I'm like, dude, what's up? Why is the Skyline so much more than this car? And then like I just started, you know, this was like what, 97, so there was no home computers back then. There was no cell phone, so it was the library and movies, man.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, Gran Turismo on PlayStation, what was that? PlayStation 1? The first one came out on? Yeah, dude. Yeah. Yeah, it
was crazy, man. But you got that stuff there, and it's just funny to see how we all get to this point. Again, like you got the cool garage behind you. I got a cool garage behind me, man. But it's like I think, man, we get so me personally, man, because I think I feel bad, man, because sometimes I'll be like, man, fuck, man, I want to do this, I want to do that, and I don't realize what I have, like what I own currently, and you just want more shit. Like I want a Barra. I just want to get a Ford Barra because they're not over here. I want to bring them in Japan, and I got all this other shit outside that I can stop today and be done with cars, you know, far as like having car assets and things like that. But I want more shit. And more shit. And I think that's so. What's your feeling on that, man? Like, far as like humans and like we're just never kind of content, man. How do you feel on that, man?
I don't know if you ever want to reach the level of being content. You know? You know. Yeah. No, I got through the same struggles. It's like, I mean, everything like early on in the game that I wanted to own, I own, but it's like, you know, and like prices of things just keep going up, you know. So like I have a hard time selling, you know. And it's just like, I don't know. I mean, my drive's still there to acquire. You know, I don't know when that'll ever stop. So I guess I'm in the same boat as you.
I don't think it will. And I reference Gran Turismo, man. Mine, I just remember buying cars and grinding to buy cars and grinding, and then of course when the cheats came out, you can just kind of like load up all the cars and unlock them all. But it's like that grind to get it, and then like I actually do it in real life. So when I get a new car, it sounds like a geek, man, but the song plays in my head, and like change the oil for more power and everything. But man, like
go on. Sorry.
No, you go. No, you good, man. Go ahead.
Oh, gee, I guess this is the video game thing. I guess Tokyo Extreme Racer. That's probably the one more than Gran Turismo for me. Yeah, that's the jam. Yeah, Tokyo Extreme was I definitely played that, man. I remember I think I played it on Dreamcast first. Oh, Sega?
Yeah.
Is that what that was?
Yeah, I played it on Dream. It was Kaido Racer or something like that. It was some kind of like, it was like a Toge Wangan type of deal. And it was hard to play because it was all Japanese, so you just kind of click on the buttons till you get to the game and everything. So but yeah, man, it seems like you had some interest in games and stuff too. Like I don't talk about it too much, man, because most guys like either play them or they don't. I don't get a chance to play them these days because I'm busy. I got a little game set up downstairs, but I don't get to play those too much, man. But yeah, man, again, it's just cool to see where people get to, man. Now, like, far as because I definitely want to ask about your hybrid, because it's like it's S14 base with the R34 front and the R33 rear tails, I believe.
Yeah, sedan tails.
Yeah. So what's the tell me about that, man? How did that thing start? Like, what's your plans for it, and when do you project driving it, man?
Yeah, that's well, like, the shell was acquired, like, it's Chris Hanley's old car from St. Louis. The car used to do a lot of MDU events around the country. It's on like the streets of Detroit. It's been down there into Texas. and for the Lone Star Drift stuff, and just kind of been all over the place. And he wrecked it at Gateway real hard into the wall, and it just totally folded the left hand wheel well like back into like the brake booster, and like I had to cut a hole to like get it out and stuff, and like but like I just wanted to save it. I didn't want to see it die, and I wanted to do something with it, so I right hand swapped it. And I don't know how I got on the kick of wanting to do the R34 front on it. It was something that I thought was cool, and I had never really seen it, and I thought it'd be a challenge to try to do something like that. You know, like I've seen a few, I've looked them up, and they're not done all that well, you know, so like I wanted to do it better than those. But I think didn't Veilslide do something like that? I think like they did a few of them.
Yeah, I believe they did. Man, they got a bunch of crazy stuff where they'll do it and then they'll be like, it doesn't sell, pull it off. So there's that. Yeah. That's where that rare stuff come in, man. But yeah.
But there was one I saw. It was I just found it, and it was down in Nagoya. I found a photo of one, and I was like, it can be done. Like so, like yeah. I don't know. Am I answering the question right?
No, that's that's another thing too, man. I don't want to. I mean, I'm asking questions because I'm curious. But yeah, man, it's I don't want to make it seem like an interview. But yeah, man, it's just with that stuff like that. Like we talking about the Veilslide, they probably got so much money at that point in time that they probably hire like 5 or 6 dudes who just like, hey man, you get paid to just do cool shit. So go in that corner and make some shit. And we can sell it, and that's what they do, man. So I see a lot of stuff, man. I'm not really into the. I understand it, I respect it, but I'm not really into like the whole like rare parts and cashing out on older stuff, because because I race. My thing is just my only thing is just racing is primary, and then everything else like I don't really do car shows. It's not my vibe. None against car show guys. I just. I don't. How do you feel on that, man? What's your thought on that? I don't know. You know, do you do car shows? Do you do events or?
I'll go and like I'll hang out, but I mean like
how long do you stay?
Track, not to like really show it, you know.
Yeah.
Like it's a weird vibe, but like I mean, my car now is just thrash and being at the track all the time. But it's like I don't get the car show vibe all that well, you know. I rather cars in action than sitting.
Yeah, I mean, I just wanted to ask you, man, because I figured that was the thing. I kind of could tell before I even asked the question. I know what kind of people are, because they'll have like that one car and they keep it shiny and they wash it like 2 times every day. I'm not saying like I'm not saying like you have to have like a ratted out vehicle and stuff like that, but that's just the car show community to me, man. They just they're kind of the dudes. Some of them they build the cars up. But they they're bench racers they bench race, man. So people out there who don't know what bench racers are, it's the guys out there who in theory their car can beat everything, but as soon as they go and do a boost pull, their fucking couplers pop off because they don't have the goddamn they did an intercooler kit and they don't have the bead roller and I've been there so so that's the thing on that. The reason I kind of brought that up, man, because I got my little notes right here. What's your opinion on these SEMA builds and the builds that are like half-ass done and burger welds and everything, man? I get it's such trash. It's like, why is that there? It's like we gotta get the S14 there, man. That's what's gonna be there.
That's what's telling me. It's like I keep trying to like do it really good, so I keep taking my time on it, man. Like I just man, I don't know. I've never been to SEMA. I've only seen some of the stuff that's there and like heard things, and I'm like, it sounds like something I don't know if I ever want to go see in real life, Right.
But SEMA,
that's where you network the most with people and get sponsors, all that stuff.
Yeah. See, correct me if I'm wrong, but SEMA is just more like a parts display or what's to come, right?
Yeah. It's like parts display, car show. It's kind of like a PRI show, the one they got out in Indiana, big race one. It's kind of same level.
Right. Yeah, because I've never been there too, but because I remember it was like it started about maybe 3 or 4 years ago. again, when phones are getting more advanced and guys, they can snap a picture really quickly. And so then it became like, and I'm not hating the guys. I'm not a trained fabricator. I can make stuff. I do decently well, but I'm not. My stuff's definitely not porn. Definitely not on your level. I'll tell you that. But I mean, so 8 times out of 10, I can weld aluminum without blowing through it. Or I just had to trash that pipe and start over again. But aluminum, I'm starting to like now. I didn't like it before. It takes a while, man. So. On that, man, like you say, as far as the seamless stuff, I'm not knocking dudes, but at the same time, I've done it before. I've taken like kind of like a hack car to an event just for fun, and in Japan, Japanese, so they think that's your final product. They don't know that you're gonna go back and cut that off and redo it, so they just take that as like this is it.
Yeah.
So I stopped doing it. I don't take like certain things, certain places here.
Yeah, that sounds like Japan.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. Like if you roll up right now in Daiko with your car, the S14, and you knew like everything in your mind what it's going to be, they would be like, "Oh, that's it," and then they would, they don't know what went into it, getting that front end on there, and how many times you had to cut shit and cardboard this and cardboard that. So they do that, man. So it's the ideologies are a little bit different, and I've grown to understand it. Before I kind of took offense to it at first, but then I just realized, hey, man, we just got different mindsets and everything, man. So, and that's what I mean. Like, far as the buddy that you hang out with, is he a drifter or car guy, or what is he into?
Ren in Japan.
Yeah.
No. Ren, he lives in Suzuka now. He moved from Yokohama to Suzuka, but when I went over the first time, I talked to him about drifting. Like, can we go see some? He told me maybe drifting not so popular.
Really?
Those guys weren't car guys, So like, I think when I went over there in 2015, I hooked up with Travis Woodham. Yeah, and like he's the one that kind of like knocked down the door. Like before, it was just always me on the go on a bike, just trying to see what I could see, just trying to like hunt down where things are at, and like I'd see it, but like I couldn't get a grasp on it. But like he really helped out that last time I was there.
Yeah. I know Travis. We haven't met, but Travis is another one of those guys that we talked here and there online. It's like it's. I have so many things where if I click on Travis's name, our last conversation was probably like maybe 2016, 2017. Yeah. And then like he'll hit me up and we'll just be it's weird how that works on the thing, man. So it is what it is on that. But yeah, man.
He's a hoot, man. God damn it, that guy.
Yeah. Yeah, I heard some stories about. I think WitchCon was telling me, Mitho was telling me a story about Travis, like his style and how he's full of energy and shit and everything, man. Yeah. So, I'll get, if he's watching, Travis, I'll hit you up, man. Get you on here, talk to you and everything, get your story and everything, man. But yeah, man. So what's your again you got a nice home garage behind you, and guys there again that's listening, watching. When I say home garage, don't think I'm not talking down about anybody, because I started from a single car garage to where I'm at right now. And in America, for the guys who don't know, in America, man, home garages, man, were rival shops. Like in wherever you're from, trust me, I know a lot of guys that they just don't want to do the whole fucking shop in front and everything. They want to do the private thing. It's your private property. It's your stuff. You don't have to pay like 1,000 people. And unless you got a shitty, like, how are your neighbors, by the way, or what's your surrounding? I mean, without giving out your
well, I did have a neighbor kind of hassled me a whole bunch. I'm on the south side here at Des Moines. I mean, the south side's a little bit rougher down, but it kind of enables me to do what I do a little bit better. It's kind of more of I'd call it a blue collar neighborhood. I think people put up with it. I know, like, my old neighbor, he didn't really like me having the cars in the driveway all the time, because I have a plethora of cars and they don't have like plates on them or whatever. He's always calling the city on me. But I mean, they're super cool now.
Yeah. So what's your like grinding? Because what's your grinding schedule? Like, do you normally do all your grinding in the daytime or?
Oh, it's usually night. It's usually late. Like,
oh, shit.
Just whenever I get it done, because like I don't. Sometimes my motivation isn't there, but when it's there, like I gotta be on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's really hard to work a daytime job and then come home and do it too. So it's a balance. That's a struggle sometimes. Usually the weekends, like when I get the most stuff done.
Yeah. What do you do if you could talk about it? What do you do for your day job?
I'm in the engine shop now. I dyno engines and
Okay.
build engines and do things like that right now. That's what I'm doing. Yeah, I was building race cars again, but I stopped and went and did this. So yeah.
Is this stuff like more like, I guess, private stuff? Because I never seen you post about it before.
Yeah, I don't mix the two.
Got you.
But I post more about my garage, what I'm doing here, than at work. Work's work. I enjoy it. I appreciate the people I work with, and I love being around it. But I mean, I don't want to get people confused. So like I post more what I'm doing here versus at work.
No, that's good. That's good, man. Like you're older, man. So I think we grew up with social media, so we know how to use it. And a lot of guys they don't know how to use it, and they put too much information out there or not enough information, and people just assume, oh man, you're a fucking jerk, and this is what you're about, and they just get it all wrong, man. So I think we're in the same thing. Like we don't. I guarantee you probably got like you get cars, whatever, and people don't even know about it. You just got it, and you don't even post about it, man. So like the newer crowd, they get like a bumper or shift knob, and I was like that back in the day, but we didn't have Facebook. So I would get an intake, and I'm like, oh man, we got this intake, and I would hide it from my friends and show up at the car meet, pop the hood, and the new eBay intake that I can make now for like $20. And everything. But yeah, man. So like I mean, again, you're like, I mean, I can fabricate. I don't call myself a fabricator. I'm very careful about that. Mm-hmm. Like, what was like your first welder, and what was your when you got your first aluminum welder and TIG welder, man? What was your ideas, and then what was your actual results, or what was your actual output with it?
Well, I guess. I mean, the first time I went to welding school, I guess, so we always ran Lincoln stuff. So I don't remember what welders we used in school, but I don't know. I mean, they were Lincoln welders. I don't remember what they were. They taught us how to set up and stuff like that. And when I was in the race car shop, we always had welders. Like I got my Miller, my 251 here,
nice,
and then AHP. TIG over there, 200X. Yeah, so like, I mean, that's my first TIG welder I've ever bought, and I'm currently happy with both of those. You can't see them, but as far as aluminum is really finicky. It's really tough, and I can do really good with aluminum at times, but I also struggle just like you. And Corey out there in Detroit. Just on the other side of Pontiac, like if I'm usually having issues or something, because I think he's better than me. Like I always call him, and I'm like, Corey,
Misco. I don't know how to say his like. Yeah.
Super guy. Talk to that guy. Like that dude.
Yeah.
He's awesome.
I was definitely gonna get Corey on, man. I always see him post, man. Always positive vibes, man.
Yeah. That dude, super, super nice guy. I can't say enough good things about him. But I always call him. I'm like, Corey, this is what I'm doing. He's like, check this. I'm like, no. As a fabricating world, like I think people that respect one another, we kind of always help each other out. I think Corey knows me, and he's a really nice guy, and he's always been super gracious to me. So Corey's.
I'll definitely get him on. Yeah, for me, aluminum. It was my biggest thing was like getting enough heat in the object, and then once you get it heated up, it kind of would just flow. And then I didn't know, like, sometimes you gotta. I mean, I don't preheat. I don't really do it. I don't do it at all. But just like once, I just noticed. I don't have a pedal, so I'm using I'm using my my thumb. Yeah, I don't have a pedal, man. So I gotta back off and turn the damn knob. And for me, because I didn't go to welding school, I didn't do that. I'm proficient now with the torch. But I wanted to personally like get like proficient with the torch and then move on, because people were saying get the pedal right away. And me being that I've never been to school, I didn't want to. I didn't know if that was the best thing. Maybe I'm thinking incorrectly, but I just don't. I don't weld it. I mean, I'm only generally welding for myself. Many people don't request to do fab, so I mean, if I'm doing a downpipe, it's all like 304 stainless or something like that. It's not anything extravagant or throw V-band on it or the 2-bolt flange, and I'm done. So I'm not doing high output. So the torch just works good for me, man. So what's your setup like generally? What do you use what cup size you using the most?
That's another thing I talked to Corey about, like, cause like I went to school, I did the whole bit, and I learned a whole bunch in school, but then when I got out of school, all I ever used was the MIG welder.
Right.
That was his issue with me. So I have to go back and relearn how to use the TIG. Like I know how it's supposed to feel and what I'm supposed to do and like how to work it. And then like I'm always like with Corey, it's like I always ask him the finer details. I'm like, what cup are you running? Like, how are you actually doing it? And like, so like he's my sensei.
Yeah,
you know?
It's so wide open, man. Like if you have like the gas, the flow rate for the gas, and then like the tungsten you use, like because I never got that nice. I don't know if it's the filler I'm using. I just went on to AP. I think is one of the weld. I use US Weld for most of my stuff to get over here because they're really fast. Yeah, and I went on a chart and I just ordered all of the. So I have shit that I don't even use because I'm not doing like a carbon steel or a. So I didn't know. I just ordered it and it's probably getting all dirty now and contaminated. So I use mainly I'm doing mainly like 304. Basic aluminum. Like I said, I'm not really technical in all the stuff. I just know what rod works. Yeah. But I never get that nice colorful rainbow shit going on with the nice.
Well, so what I learned from Corey, sometimes it's the gas flow in a bigger cup with a bigger nozzle.
Got it.
Or a bigger like because it'll hold that gas coverage like over it longer.
Right.
That's the thing. I'm like when you get to the end, especially like you gotta want to back off your pedal. And just a little bit, and just kind of like slowly let the arc die away, and then wait for that gas to like finally stop flowing. Like once you hear it stop, then pull it away. Because you don't want the air to do it. And like
gotcha.
the large, we'll keep it contained more. And it's like another thing too. It's like you can like put too much heat into it too. That will cause it to not come to do the rainbow. But I mean, it's not that the weld's going to be bad and it's going to be poor, but I mean, you're not going to get that internet look, I guess.
Yeah. That's what I meant. You nailed it. I can get it together. I don't warp. I learned like the hard way, to clamp stuff down. I was like, why the fuck's that flange? Yeah. And then I'm like, I read up with metal properties. Like, yeah, shit's gonna move and clamp shit down, and it doesn't move. So I remember I welded my first 2-bolt flange, and I put it together, and the damn flange was like. It was like looked like a fucking Lay's potato chip and everything. So, yeah. So, but I guarantee. I mean, I would say, what was your, I mean, personal car or whatever, man? What was your biggest fuck up? And you're like, fuck, man, what was your biggest fuck up welding, as far as like burning through something or making something harder than it should have been?
Well, that was so. This is back when like. Really fucking popular, and like I had a spare like S12 hood, and I was just young. I mean, I was like probably like 18, 19 or whatever, and like I didn't understand the concept of like having to like make a brace or something to keep it like true or whatever. When I cut like that whole back section out, like the hood like went like this, and I just welded all back to the car, and it didn't work. I was like. Yeah, ever since then, I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, dude. It's trial and error, and that's why, like, I mean, yourself and, I do check out Corey's stuff a bunch. He puts pictures up, and I'm like, fuck, that's so good, man. And I got a buddy here. I want to get him on, but he's not camera guy, and he got a garage just like yours, man. It looks like, from the pictures, his garage looks about the same size, man. He just does amazing work, man. I'm like, bro, man, he's and he's very modest. He's very modest. He don't talk shit, and I'm like, with him, I don't mind asking him, and he come over and show me how to set everything up and with the welder, because for him, I know he's not like big dogging or trying to talk down. And I feel like Corey's the same way to you, man. Like if you ask him a question, like, oh man, you're fucking dumb, man. Stick the damn thing out this far and run a cup this size and turn the flow up and fuck off. Like I don't feel like he does that to you, and so I'm careful of who I ask questions to. Like that's just the way I am with that stuff, man. Yeah. But it is good on that. But yeah, I'll definitely gonna you mentioned Corey. I was like I think you're talking about the same Corey, man. So yeah, man, I'm gonna hit him up and And my thing is I want to talk to all the Pro 2 guys or Pro Spec. And what's your what?
Wait, tell you, get Corey and Jelani together. Like have those together. That'd be a hoot.
Yeah. Yeah, man. So what's your? I mean, speaking of that, man, we all. It's like you mentioned Jelani. I know Jelani. Facebook buddies. Again, we haven't met, and I know I see they go back and forth. Like Jelani was posting about some welding some aluminum like 2-3 weeks ago. He's like on Corey's welders and shit.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, man, that's pretty cool shit. I'll definitely talk to him, and I want to talk to everybody, man. So many guys up there. But what's your the Pro Spec stuff that you recently went down, man? What's your feelings on all that stuff, the changes, and what do you think Formula Drift is trying to do?
Oh man, like I was talking to Nate down there the last time I was down there in Texas, and like I don't know, I don't know. I mean, I hope it works for him. I don't know what to say. Yeah.
So you're more like you're more into the what's your? I mean, definitely I know you drift and everything. What's your so you're more into like the grassroots scene or?
Yeah. The grassroots is just it's 10 times harder in my opinion. I think there's too much power in FD, for good. I rather see some kid cut loose and something that's, like maybe like 200, 300 horsepower and like come back with a smile and just really nail it and just be like, that's it. And like, that's where I'm at. Like, that's, cause that's me. I can get that. I know that in my heart. Like, like that, all that big money stuff. Like, I just, it's like, I just don't get it, it's not.
Well, I mean, it's kind. I kind of correlated to like saying being a bodybuilder. I mean, I started lifting weights when I was 14, and I did it to play football. So like even like that's why people like, man, well, how are you the size you are right now? But I haven't been to a gym like literally like 4 years. I haven't lifted weights in 4 years because my body will get big, and I don't need to be like this big to be. And it already kind of hurts anyway. If I'm like, I got to hold my fucking arm up and it weighs like 40 pounds or whatever.
Yeah.
And then I'm sitting there and my arms go, you know all about it. Your fucking arms going dead and your legs going to sleep.
Yeah.
So it's like, with the car thing is like your purpose and everything. As long as you got a purpose, it's cool. But I think a lot of young cats, they don't know the direction. They see like the FD guys and they figure that's what they gotta have. And then they do it and then they run into a wall and then you never see them again.
Yeah. I mean, just keep it simple. That's the only thing, man. Keep it simple and keep that smile on your face, and you'll have a good time. But like, I don't know, with drifting, like it just gets more and more expensive, like every year. It's just like I don't know. I don't know if it'll ever stop getting more expensive.
It's legitimizing. I'll tell you that with the. I mean, being that I drift professionally here and everything, but it's kind of one of those things. I kind of did it to legitimize my shop. Because people will be like, well, what do you do? And the drifting thing, I actually, even though I like drifting, I don't want to talk bad about it, but my focus is more towards grip because I did grip before drifting, and the grip is where the money is, as far as the drivers, as far as the customers, and so Tsukuba, I'm getting my JAF license for that, and I'm building the Cappuccino 1J is a sideshow, but it will be fast as shit. But I'll build a few cars there because Tsukuba getting that under 50 seconds. Or I'll say under 50 seconds, but like in that 50-second range, that's when people are like, "Oh fuck, like you really know what you're doing." And, and I definitely can get there. I mean, I'm pretty confident in the skills, but that's people like, man, you don't care about drifting and this. I'm like, nah, dude, drifting and keeping my doors open. Like the street guys and the circuit guys are what's paying me. So I gotta play to that.
I mean, I definitely I appreciate, like I'm a big fan of rally myself.
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah, like grip racing, like there's things like I rather see time attack where you race the track. Like I think that's impressive to me. Like how fast you can lay it down because you're just racing the track. You're not racing somebody. You're racing. Right. Yeah. I really appreciate that, and like all the work that goes into it, all the meticulous little details, like of just like just to get like that little second, maybe
one little crank on a coil, it's never ending. So that's why when dudes, I know you probably the same way, man. When people like, man, when I finish my car, I'm like, finish? What's that?
Yeah.
What do you mean? What do you mean? The shit's never gonna be finished, man. I'm one of those guys where I can always tweak something a little bit and make something better, man. I mean, I mean, I guess you could say done, but that word just doesn't nah. You never finish, man. Unless you or I don't know how you feel about this, but how about the guy where they say my build and he got like their build consists of like some 3-piece SSR wheels and a body kit, and it's like it, and maybe maybe some spacers.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's your feeling on that when people say my build and you're like, really, dude? Like,
yeah. I don't want to talk bad about anybody's stuff.
No, dude.
Yeah, yeah, definitely kind of like you're like, yeah, that's cool, dude.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, man. Really did it on this one.
Yeah. I know you're like man, I can tell you're a modest guy too, man. So I'm not trying to egg you on to talk negative and stuff. I'm just joking, but yes, it's different. Like you say, I tell dudes, man, like if you never lost feeling in your legs, it's not a build.
Yeah.
If you never been upside downwards, upside downwards under the dash or you know exactly what I'm talking about when you lose feeling in your legs. Like, fuck, dude.
Yeah. You just and you're just like, why do I do this to myself? You're just like,
But it's always worth it, man. Like again, man, I'm just waiting patiently for the S14 to get done, and I know exactly what because my cappuccino sits over there, and I want to get cracking on it, but I want to be in a proper mindset and not be work on it, and then a customer comes or I gotta do this, and also I gotta work, I gotta keep the shop open, feed my family, and things like that. So I just can't. I don't want to cut into it and leave it and then come back to it. Because how do you feel? How in your process? How long does it take you to get spun back up on a project if you leave it alone? Like far as the feeling and everything.
Well, I mean, the S14, that's the current one. I've been working on that for like 4 years, which like I count last year because all I did was work on other people's stuff. So I guess it's still 3 years in my head, but I mean, it's just like the feeling's still there, and sometimes those breaks are nice because like. You might have done things a different way had you not had that time away and worked on somebody else's stuff and figured something else out, and then you can apply it to them. So it's kind of nice, really. But I mean, it's an arduous process and just takes for ages. But I mean, the end game, it'll be worth the wait.
Yeah. With that stuff, a lot. I mean, I know you understand it, so I'm definitely not preaching to you, man. But the listeners out there or the guys who don't know, with the build stuff, man, it's a lot of trial and error. Like you got to fit things in there. Then you'll learn stuff certain ways. And like you said, man, that is true. Cause even since the cappuccino's been here or the second one, I've done more fabrication jobs. And if I would have attacked that, say like right at that point, I think I want to say I would have messed it up, but I learned more on like how to do this and, how to, set this hidden stud there. And, then I found more places to get more cool shit from. So I can instead of like, cutting this damn square thing out or whatever, the store sells them. All I got to do is put it there, drill it, spot weld, and I'm done. And so it's we want to get it done, man. But I don't for guys there who want to do builds, real builds, it takes time, man. So don't let your friends out there pressure you into putting all the bullshit, because that's what'll happen. You'll just, and I know you're not gonna do that to that car, and that's why I know when it gets done, it's gonna be fucking awesome, man. So. But yeah, and they got all that stuff, man. But far as like your own setup and everything, man, what's your future? Like I would say, like 5-10 year projection on. Are you gonna eventually? To me, man, I'm talking. Yeah, you feel like you're a shop owner to me, man. Like I could just tell you can run a shop and do all that stuff, man. So you're looking at getting your own space, or is that a thing?
Well, I mean, this year I got cars lined up right now for something bigger that I'm pushing for. I'm trying because I'm in the middle of like nowhere really, like in kind of the car scene culture, for like drift or whatever. So I'm trying to, push myself into another part of the country, hopefully this year, and take it to a different place. Because I talked to those guys out there in Washington, and they just like, there's not a lot of people out there that know what I can do. So I think I'd be more useful out there, and it'd be better out there, and it's more like Japan out there. Yeah, it's I'm kind of pushing for the Northwest up there, And from what all the fabricators out there, from what those guys tell me, like they're more up in Seattle. Like on the other side, there's nobody. So gonna try to do some things out there. A good solid group of guys out there.
Yeah. Fortunately, man, that's definitely the one. I never been to Iowa before. I know wrestling is top notch out there because I wrestled before and everything. But it seems like that's it's like straight cut. This is what Iowa offers and nothing else, nothing more. Nothing less and everything. So we not to see the snow there and everything. We talked about that, man. Like you say, man. Like the people don't look when you said it. I felt it, man. When you were like, man, the snow. Like last night in the garage, man. It's like the fucking cold, and that's a mental toughness that a lot of guys don't get. And like you're like, fuck, man. It'll be so much cooler if it was fucking t-shirt weather outside.
Yeah, or just raining.
Oh yeah.
Just moving snow is an endeavor itself. Like that's what I did. Like earlier, and it's supposed to snow again today, and I'm just like, man, it's a task to put up with and drive through. Be part of your everyday life. Snow is a thing.
What's the temperature normally in the wintertime there?
January, it can fluctuate. January is usually like the coldest. Like that's when like you'll usually get your like most below 0 days.
It's definitely a task, man. And like, the elements, that's again where, I don't know, like as far as I definitely don't want to put that out there to the public because that's between you and the customers, like rates and everything. Like a lot of people don't understand, man. They just think like you're working on that car. And it's like, nah, dude, I got to clean this. I got heat. I got 220 volt power, 3-phase. I got this, and this. So when you give them the quote, they were like, oh, but you're just doing this welding. I'm like, yeah, dude, I got my gas. I got this rod right here. I got this tungsten and the welder itself. You know what I mean? Like, and so without, I'm not trying to definitely, talk, about the clients and stuff like that, confidential, but how's your relation generally with people when it comes to like, them expecting you to do a lot of work for like pennies and everything?
If
that's a thing
with Iowa, like it's not the best market. Like I talked to Corey about this before, and Corey always tells me that I don't charge enough, and he's told me what he's charged. And so like I'm trying to get to a different point where I can charge more, where there's more people, because around here you just kind of got to go with the flow, I've kind of upped it over the, people out in Kansas City, like people like, I don't know, it seems like they're charging like way more money, but the quality isn't that good, and like right. I'm like 3 hours from KC, so it's kind of hard for those guys to bring their cars up here sometimes,
Yeah.
So it's like you just gotta feel them out, It's like I know what I want to say, but it's like, it's tough. It's tough.
Yeah, no doubt, man. So do you have a because I just follow I of course your buddies on Facebook. Do you have a and also for the I don't know how to say for the garage, it's like what does it say, like the I can't pronounce it. You say it's like Shiomi Garage or?
Yeah, it's the 16th tallest mountain in Japan.
Okay, so that's like that's pretty much like that's your thing, or like that's your.
Eventually, it'll I'll get it legitimized and it'll be a real asset. That's road.
Yeah, it's definitely screams Japan right there, man. Because it's like the name, and then they put garage behind it. Or one thing I didn't notice, man, is how many fucking styles. There's M styles. There's K style. Of course, there's Pink style. Then I'm Pinku style. And Pink style. That's what I already talked about. That guys. That's their team thing. And I just seen Nakamura this weekend. But there like so many styles, and I didn't know till after I made my shop. I was like, fuck. There's like all these styles. And whatever, man. But there's only one of that in your name in America, man, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it's that stuff it changes on that stuff, man. As far as I was actually about you was talking about the welders and stuff like that. I run an Everlast 185, which I've had since which was pretty much a Dan Miller. It's the same thing, man. Because Corey was, I think not Corey or Jelani was talking about the welders like a few weeks ago, and everybody was chiming in about what they do, man. So what's your feeling on, man, how the technology is made stuff more affordable now. Like, I mean, you can have a TIG in a little box this big now. And
yeah. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't. People ask me like, what welder should I run and things like that, and I don't know.
Because you're the guy, dude. You gotta.
Yeah,
Who's gonna see your? They're gonna see your work. They're gonna ask you, man, for sure.
I know, but it's just like I don't sit down and I don't study parameters of machines or anything like that or the knowledge. I know how to turn it on. I know how it works, and I know it's going to get the job done that it needed to do. Like I don't have a hard, like a lot of people dork out about it, you know. And like I don't have time to dork out about it. I just need to know if it can do the job or not.
Right.
And like if I need to make sure I can do a quality job, and usually it's that welder. I got it from the TIG. I got it from Dan over there in the Quad Cities, and he's a pretty good TIG welder. And I trusted his I don't know what his words there.
Like guidance, judgment, guidance.
Everything you needed to do, and I was like, he's like, I already upgraded the torch, I already upgraded the pedal, and he gave me the rundown on the machine. I was like, awesome, done deal, let's do it, you know. But as far as like, you know, it's usually somebody usually knows more than me. You know, I just need to make sure that it can do the job that I need it to do, you know.
Yeah, I think it's the same. It's the same thing. Like it's kind of like I kind of related to cars, man, where some guys like they'll get their first weld and they wanted to do pulse this, pulse that, and I'm like, dude, just learn how to fucking weld first, and then add all that stuff, because like you wanted to do like I watched a bunch of TIG channels, the older dudes on I forgot the name. One guy is a prior Marine and he does awesome work, like contract jobs. I'm pretty sure we're talking about the same guys and everything. But I watch a bunch of his stuff, man, and he was like, you know, he'll show like the advanced shit. But he's like, I don't really need this, the control on the post flow, pre flow, and all that stuff like that. You just tap it. So when I watch him, I don't have flow control on mine, so I would do like the well, actually, I think I do. I should know this. But what I'll do, I think I would double tap it and then like, you know, get the argon to flow. And so I just picked up shit like that from those guys, man. And they're like OGs. They've been welding for 30, 40 years, dude. And I watch their stuff and I soak it up and I make notes. So I'm pretty sure you do the same thing. Do you make notes for like your you know, your frequencies, your post cleaning and stuff like that?
No, I don't have any notes.
Yeah.
I don't. I just you know, like I only really ever do aluminum. I don't do steel stuff or stainless steel. So you know, like it's pretty much always just set up for aluminum. You know, otherwise I just use my MIG for anything else. You know, I don't mix the two. You know, at work I'll take for on the distributor to take the vacuum advance out of it. Like I'll take that. You know, that's steel at work. But yeah.
Yeah, I think I still utilize my MIG as well, but I force myself to pick up the TIG more, because the MIG is, you know, you distance, you learn how to use it, you get to do some cool shit with it. My S2000 that was in a magazine, I welded the whole front tube core with a flux welder actually outside, but I got good because I was forced to do it, and I actually got good with flux welding, and before it looked like shit. And then I did, you know, the biggest thing I learned with flux is, you know, cleaning before and making sure there's no dirt and you got the best source. And then also the not using a long fucking extension cord, because you would kind of drop the amps and everything. So I was like, man, why the fuck's it welds good on base? Because on base is actually 60 hertz, but on a military base, but off base is 50 hertz. And I had there was a Lincoln 125, and this was before I converted it to you know, argon, well, you know, CO2 argon mix and everything. So so I don't have a true I mean, I converted it, so I mean it's a true MIG, but it's not, it's 110 volt. So I don't have a 220. So my Everlast is 220, 110 and everything. And of course yours is both 220, correct? Yeah, so they got that and everything. So yeah, sometimes but yeah, man, it's again with the welding shit, man. I think it's guys that are listening and want to get started, man. If you get something handed down and it's good, just roll with it. But don't don't feel like you got to buy, like, my message is, don't feel like you got to buy a $4,000 welder to get started, because you're not gonna.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
mine's 800, like
yeah,
out of the box.
yeah,
It does everything I want to do.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
And then, again, man, you guys there who don't know, man, definitely look up Travis online. You'll see his stuff there, and see all the stuff, and you can see the stuff he does, man. It's just not you don't have to have all this stuff, and that kind of relates to the car shit, where those guys you watch for Formula Drift, you know this, but the guys there don't know, they're competing. They're not, that car that they're using is not like it's built a specific built car.
Mm-hmm.
They're after a certain goal, and you don't need to do that to go at your local grassroots event. Just get a KA will get the fucking job done.
KA will get it every day.
Yeah, I'm a KT guy, man. So my first turbo car, I built it. So yeah, I didn't have that money for SR20 back then. So speaking of your S12, man, you got
go on.
Saying? No, but
just what do you think of SR prices these days? Are they that crazy over here as they are here?
Yeah, it's well, the thing is, there's more SR20s in America than there is here in Japan. Spare.
Really?
So you guys got them all, man.
We don't.
Yeah, you do. Dude, go to Yahoo auctions right now and put SR20 in there, RPS 13, and you'll get maybe 2 pages of results. That's it.
Wow.
Yeah, and then in Japan, I mean, Yahoo auctions, Goo Parts. There's a few.
Yeah.
There's one place called Used Part Japan for the guys. There's another cool one to look at. There's a bunch of little private ones, and some of them don't let you get on there. But there's like maybe 4 sources for engines in Japan. That's it. So unless you got a private hookup, yeah. So if you put in SR20, if you put in like FJ20, you might get 3 results. If you put in 13B, you might get like 6 results. There's really, it's everything is gone. It's like scraps here now, man. That's it.
Huh.
Yeah, man. You guys. So you got more shit in your garage than people have. Like, trust me, man. Like, you got all the SRs at your place, man.
I don't have them all, but I got a few.
Yeah. So I mean, speaking on that, man, because you do post, I definitely could tell you got a love for the SR, man. What's your because you got the S12, which I want to get one. What's your if you have to pick, I'll give it, make it easy, man. I'll say your top 3 engines that you like, man, overall.
I like they're all pretty much Nissans, like I like the SR, RB 25 and 26, Jer out there in Washington, he's got 18 RG.
Yeah.
So, I would probably throw that one in there, Yeah.
Well, which version SR is like? What's your favorite of all the versions?
I mean, I think all the ones I got are red tops, and I got like 2 black tops. I've never had the S14, the advanced cam one or whatever. Yeah. So I guess I can't really say if I like those ones or not because I've never had one.
Yeah, I mean, from my experience, the S14, VVL is the Wishcon, was the whatever the fuck it is. It's variable timing, whatever. I'm like, I'm working on 3 hours of sleep, man. So my mind is groggy. But the S14 and S15 one, man, they just they seem like they fixed the issues that they have the 13 with the rock ROM issues. They're not as volatile. If that makes sense. So the S14 and 15 ones I did drive, they never broke. I did break a couple. They were high mileage, and I'm beating the shit out of them. So I mean, it is what it is. I broke about 2 red top SR20s here, not 3 actually, and I never built one, man. So I've driven some really nice SRs. So people think I hate them. I'm like, I don't hate them. It's just not my. It's not my number one go-to. I just I like the RBs and everything. So, but I like everything, man. I like to work on different engines. I got pretty much all the major engines here. And I'd like to learn them all because EJ has his things and his quirks, and then the 4AG has his thing, then 3S has his thing, the 2GR has his thing, and I can just run on a list of all the engines I have here. And I just like learning them because all my customers are going to drive different shit. So, in in Japan they kind of have like the one. They would do RBs or they would do JZs or whatever, man. So what's your feeling on that, man? Is it the one make stuff, the one make shops? Yeah.
I mean, I like the RB over the JZ, but I think the JZ at the end of the day is probably for just beating on it and doing the dang deal. It's like probably better out of the box, you know? Yeah.
I mean, that's definitely like that's one thing where if I say gun in my head choice, my chassis are gonna be S13, my engines are gonna be RB25. That's gonna be my gun to my head, last choice, end of times, Mad Max type shit, and then we could throw the R34 front on there and everything like yours and everything. So but man, it's that's just my combination. That's what I like, but I like different things, but yeah, man, it's just. I
know my friend. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
My friends over in the Quad Cities, they all run RBs except for Trevor. He runs a JZ, but they got some built RBs and like those things they go.
Yeah. But the JZ, like you said, man, it's again, I'm ultra non-biased. I like what I like, but I don't. I can't stand Subaru guys for the most part because they're like fucking Jehovah's Witnesses or something like that, man. They want to push the gospel onto you, like so. A Subaru vegan guy who likes Trump is like the worst guy to talk to, or whatever, man. I'm like, what I'm saying? It's just like, it's like, dude, cool, you're a vegan, cool, you voted for Trump, and cool, you drive a Subaru. You're like the worst person to talk to, man. And but no, man, it's like the advantages. That's why you see the LS and everywhere. And I mean, back when FD first started and D1 GP, it was SRs. And then people realize as they start pushing them up off the box, like you said, man, a one JZ, a old 1JZ, old, I'm talking about 200,000 kilometers, will still last longer than the low mileage SR20 stock for stock, and you know what I'm talking about. It's just the dynamics and the way they're built. Yamaha built it this way, Nissan built it that way. And people don't want to realize I'm like, dude, every engine has its pros and cons. RB has the oiling issues, which you fix, and you're done with it. And I don't blow RBs like that. So. Oh,
I would do a beams too, dude. Beams I do beams.
Yeah, I got two here, so. Yeah. They're ugly as hell without that cover on it though.
I know they are.
Yeah, man. So they got So I picked up a 2GR and I actually fucked up and picked up the wrong model, but it was $200. $200. It was. I mean, the engine is a complete engine. They said it was consuming oils, like piston rings or whatever. And so I got a fresh 2GR. It's a 2GR FSC. So it's the rear wheel drive IS, the newer IS, the newer what is it? Who uses it too? The Toyota, the Crowns use it, I believe.
Okay.
And but the 2G. You familiar with the 2GR?
I don't know if I am.
Dude, look up the 2GR. Look up a 2GR MRS, dude. That's what, dude. Okay. V6 turbo. Well, it's naturally aspirated normal, but they stuffed it inside of a MRS, and they put them in MR2s also, but they're V6 and they're compact. It's like a LS. It's like you can pretty much put it right here on the table. And,
really?
Dude, look it up, bro. I'll tell you, look up MR2 2GR, and you're gonna want to build one, dude. Like, so they sound cool, man. So, and that's the thing, man. It's like
what goes behind it.
Say again.
What transmission do we put behind it?
They have a kit for you to use. The guys are using a Scion. They use the Scion transmission.
Okay.
The Scion TC or there's a few adapter kits, and I believe the 2ZZ might work. I looked up on it briefly, and I got busy with my other shit. But yeah, I believe people are using the Scion TC transmission on it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, and But yeah, it fits in there really good. You got to cut. They got a few kits, so you cut the firewall. You pretty much the firewall is gone. You got to cut that, and you pretty much you fillet it. You fillet it, and then you push it forward, and then you weld your struts and the braces like you didn't weld on your hood there. And so, but yeah, man, it's so many builds, and I got so many. Oh man. I get anxiety. Do you feel like that sometimes, man? Because
all the time.
Yeah,
all the time. I just look around all the cars, and then the cars are coming in. Man, like always a lot on my plate.
Yeah, I'm not nervous in life in general, but like when I look outside, I'm like, fuck, man, I want to. That needs this needs that needs this, and then I got my 2 pro cars that they need to be focused on, and then I'll buy some shit for this car, and I'm like. That car is nowhere near being done, man. So
it's like we're to like which one's gonna get it today? Like it's like
He said which one's gonna get it today? Like I'll give you some spark plugs, even though I'm not gonna start it up for another 2 years. Like why the fuck did I buy that? So I got good at not doing that. So it just sits. So I call it my ready line. So I got about 6 or 7 cars with most of the parts sitting inside of it. For the guys that are listening and watching, I got security, so don't come steal my shit, please. But so I got parts and stuff sitting inside of it for each car. So most of the shit's there. I just got to get time to do it. Then I'll get a car, and then that car become like my S2000. When I got that, nothing mattered when I got that car because I wanted that car, man, and I got it from a wreck. And in 3 weeks, I transformed it to got it on the track and everything, man. So does that happen to you frequently where you'll get a project and you'll jump right on that one?
Yeah, not really.
Yeah.
I mean, I mostly concentrate on keeping my coupe ready and running and driving. That thing's a handful just to keep going, and I concentrate on that one. On the S14. Those are the 2. Once I get the coupe ironed out again, I'll probably have a little more time for everything else. But I mean, I gotta at least keep one track car ready to go at all times. So, it's like that thing's always fighting issues, or it's finicky, or something's happening, and gotta,
Yeah. Well, you posted about do you have a Z 240Z or 280Z, or were you working on that?
That's my buddy Gavin. That's a Z.
That thing's clean, man.
Yeah, it's been stored since 1978. And, it's never been below 50-degree weather, and me and him worked out a deal, but I don't really have room for it, so it's down there now. I haven't really been talking about that I got it, but we got a deal worked out on it.
Look about
it right now, but we're gonna get that fixed.
How much are the Z's running in the States now?
Just from what I gather from like other people, like they're getting more expensive.
Dude,
this Z right here, like the guy took the interior out of it and everything, and like still has it. Looks brand new. It's mint, uncracked dash, seats are mint, like all the interiors. He still got it all. When he took it out, he just kept everything all in boxes, like really nicely organized. Yeah,
that's the good ones, man. But yeah, Z, there's a rusted holy shell over here. It goes for $15K. I'm talking about just the shell. No, not even a roller. If it's a roller, you're getting into the 25K, 30K for just a roller. And then if it's talking about it got engine and everything, 60, 70, 80 is not unheard of, man. So it's the Z, the Hachiroku, of course, the 2000 GT, like those cars are just, they're fucking up there, man. So people are holding now. They're just holding like stocks or whatever the fuck. Yeah. And then if they sell it, they'll sell it. So like Evo 1, I was just talking to a buddy. Evo, so like the Evo, you'll see the Evos 5 through 8 are plentiful. But I'll say 4 through 8, but like the 1 and 3. I have a 1 and a 3, and yeah, man, they're dude, like you see a 1 it costs like 45-50K, man, for Evo 1 bone stock. Yeah, so they just, some of those things hold value. They don't care about the 7 and 8 much. They don't. It's just like And then the 10, they really don't care about that thing because they don't have a 4G63 in it.
Yeah.
But then I was talking to Eric. He was saying it was a good. I never worked on it, but he was saying the engine is really, really good. The MyVac setup or whatever. So, have you worked with any of those newer Evos, or do you work with Evos at all?
I never. My ex girlfriend had a Lancer. Wasn't even an Evo. I don't
Damn,
really.
Man.
I don't really mess with them.
You say XX. You like going through. Going through chicks, man.
Yeah. You have one. Yeah, but I mean, I don't really fuck with them. No, I don't. I do like Evo wagon y'all got over there though. I see one. Yeah.
Yeah, they're pretty cool, man. They got it's like wagons or everything over here. They got the the Stagers, what I daily drive. It's actually a 350Z wagon. It's pretty much it's the 6-speed, the VQ35. Nice. It's the same gauges, the same everything. We started up. It's just like a wagon Z.
Mm-hmm. That's sweet, man. I love wagons. I wish the States would be on fan.
Yeah, because you guys got the Odyssey, but it's not the cool Odyssey. It's not the RB1, RB2 Odyssey that we got.
The Honda Odyssey?
Yeah, the one that the guys are using the front off on the S13, the Odd-Via. So we got
that one.
Yeah, so I just sold it to my shop assistant, who is my shop assistant now. So I'm actually buying it back, man. I like that van, dude. Like the Odyssey is. Yeah, man.
Hey, what's going on with your S14? That one.
Oh, it's just in the garage. I'm doing a relocation on a radiator. Not relocation on the radiator, but I'm doing a remote coolant because I didn't want to cut the. I normally would notch the core and move the radiator back, but the guy had airbrushed it, and I didn't want to cut it. I didn't want to cut the core support. Yeah. So I found a CA18 radiator that was already everything. It was 3-core, and it was a short one, so it fit under the. You cut the core support for the AC condenser, and it fits right under there. But I made a fucking mistake, man, and shit happens on my own shit. I started it up, and I didn't fucking tighten the bolts down on the fan. The whole fucking water pump exploded. The whole thing exploded, cut the radiator. Yeah. So then I measured it, and actually what I got right now is a Hachiroku, and at Hachiroku I just had to cut the hump off of it, and it fits under there. So it's the same. So I fit it up under there, and I just got to make a 90-degree. I'm running the reservoir is going to be where the battery normally sits, but the battery's in the back now. Okay. So the filler is going to be over there, kind of like Subaru style almost. Yeah. So it'll fill up from there, and the swirl tank will be there and everything. So yeah, that's it runs and everything down there. I don't have a water pump now. There's a big hole in the block where the water pump is, so that's cool. So I started up, move it, and then I take it out. Yeah. And but yeah, that's so that one's belonged to Kenshi Yamanaka, and it's been in America before. So that one's good. You've seen that car before, man. So. I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna use that for MSC and possibly D1 lights, and we'll see because it already has a full cage in it, but the cage is definitely not D1 GPFD legal. It's not. That's why it's set. So, yeah, man. Any other because I looked at the time, man. It's like 11 now, and I got to get to the garage and everything, man. So we definitely gonna do this again, man. I just wanted, I wanted to talk to you, man, and is your first time doing a podcast or? Yeah. I think it is. Yeah. Man. No, I mean, I asked, man, you do pretty well, man. A lot of people when their first time, man, they just like really frozen kind of everything, man, or don't want to say the wrong thing or whatever, man. But it's not, we're not here to cause anybody harm and stuff like that. But man, we definitely do this again, man. But is there any any closing ideas or statements or anything you want to promote or?
I mean, just promote one another. That's all I got to say. Awesome, I mean, everybody look out for everybody, and if you can help them, help them. I mean, that's all I really got to say. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm not a product. I didn't just love one another, man. Quit the hate.
that would be great, man. If people did that. Unfortunately, man, I think human. Is this one of those things where humans is kind of. Some people just kind of like look at all the negative stuff all the time. They don't really look at the positives and things like that. So it just kind of be there. But as far as my zone, I try to keep my zone drama, not try to, I keep it drama free. And then anytime drama happens, I get it out there as soon as possible and return back to normal. Unfortunately, with the car shop stuff, I was talking to my buddy Alan Newsom of Bridge Moto, and I was like, yeah, I get generally about 3 to 4 weeks where it's just like cool. And then I'll get one email from somebody, you know, hey man, my clutch is doing this. And I'm like, dude, I explained to you, you have a twin plate O'Gora clutch that's unsprung. It's going to make noise. I told you this. Yeah. So if you want, go.
Drive. He's got a Verosa over there, and he let me drive that, and that thing rips, man. I like Verosa. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. No, Verosa is a
twin disc, so that's why it made me think of that. Sorry.
Yeah. No, it's not good. The Verosa, that car normal is normal. Like a normal Verosa is ugly to me, man. But when you lower it, put some wheels on it, and like maybe a kit, it kind of takes, because that front end. I don't know why, man. When I see that Verosa, it reminds me of Snuffleupagus, man. Like, you know. Yeah. So every time I see that car, I just picture Snuffleupagus with that fucking that trunk and those eyes and shit.
Yeah.
It just that's what it. When I see Verosa, I just thought of Snuffleupagus and everything, man. But dude, I got to put a picture of a Verosa with a Snuffleupagus for the actual the thumbnail. I gotta make a note of that, man. So when you put Verosa image and everything, man. I'm glad you brought that up, man. It's pretty funny, man. But no, dude, like I say, man, that's why, again, I knew, like, even before I asked you to do it, man, I've never been wrong about this. Some people I don't even ask them because I can already, man, I'm busy. I gotta watch my cats. I gotta do all this stuff. And when I came up in the game, man, I had good buddies around me, but I built a lot of their stuff to get knowledge. But when it came time to help me with my shit, they were all of a sudden really busy. And that's why, again, I could tell you, I could tell you, we're kind of on the same wavelength, man, where we just kind of self-sufficient. I don't care to have 1,000 guys around me. I just don't. I don't need. And a guy, hey man, how about you do this? How about you do that? Like, no, dude, there's a few ways to do it, and I'm gonna do it this way.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. So, and if I came to your place, I wouldn't even say shit about nothing. I'll be at your place, and you know, whatever. I kind of do that. So when I go to somebody else's place, a garage, I'm gonna be like, hey man, do this for this. I'm like, nah, dude, you're in my shop, so sit back, relax. Yeah. Man, so
I definitely, if I can help you, like, you know, I'm weird about help because like people want to come over and help.
Yeah.
But like, I kind of want to do it myself.
Yeah,
I really want their help, but it's like it might not be done the way that, you know what I mean? It's like it's a battle.
Yeah.
You know.
Or you end up like because some people get offended when I tell them like I'm good. I'm like, I'll just say straight up now I'm good. I don't you know, they say, but you got to do this and that. I'm like, dude, it'll take me maybe 5 extra minutes to stop the engine, lift, and go look over there and make sure I'm not hitting the brake booster. And then I continue down, and like I've done thousands, but hundreds of engine swaps. And it's like so even when I watch YouTube, and it's not, I mean, guys out there again listening, watching, if this is your situation, I'm not talking bad about you, Travis. I'm not talking bad about you. It's just our styles. And I see a video, man, with like, you know, two things, man. Two things. I mean, I always say I'm gonna wrap up, but I never do. But two things: shit all over the floor. Like shit all over the floor. Like if you got something sitting on the floor for a second and you're sitting down, but like shit all over the floor and 30 fucking dudes where 2 guys are working, where one guy knows what he's doing and the other guys are on the Instagram and shit. That shit kills me. I'm like, that environment I will leave within 5 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely am always trying to sweep the area doing and
dude.
Go organized. Like I try to keep an organized mess.
Dude, I see your you know where everything, you know exactly where that tap is. The tap and the dying tap set is right there. You got, you know, this is in that drawer, you know. So it's organized chaos, man.
Yeah.
But I mean, no, dude, like I said, I check you out a bunch. I always follow your stuff and see that stuff, man. And you know, everything is, you know, I can see everything is proper, man. You got your stuff is everywhere. Like when I see people just like, you know, it's just like Dixie cups everywhere. They got you got like 80 Dixie cups with bolts all in them and shit. Like just put all that shit in one drawer and hide it. You know, you don't got to be all up there. I just, yeah, man. So even when guys come to my shop like I feel to me like man, it's a mess right now because I got like the stuff sitting on the bench that I'm gonna working on right now, and they're like, oh man, it's clean in here. The floor is like spotless as far as shit on the floor because I don't want to trip over something. And I've done it before, trip over something and you fucking fall and you got a screwdriver in your back pocket and you scratch the car and it's like live and learn type shit, man. But no, dude, like I said, I'll peep your stuff out, man. Again, before I even asked you to be on a podcast, I kind of had a feeling you'll be like, yeah. And everything, but I was kind of worried though because I know again I from some of your posts, man. I remember you posted a while about you was talking about like kind of confidence. I believe it was something like confidence or it was something you posted, man, on Facebook. It was saying something about some stuff like you kind of reserve and you keep to yourself and everything. So some guys I asked, they were like, no, I'm not for the camera. I don't want to talk and everything. So again, I'm happy for your time, man. Again, this is only a slither of. It's hard with the podcast, man. We want to talk about so much stuff. I gotta learn how to stop talking so much and let the person talk. But it's hard to get our whole lives into one. I just know you're a good guy. You work on cars, and that's good. That's all. That's all that matters to me, man. You know what I mean? That's all that matters to me, man. So again, guys out there, again, thanks for tuning in. Again, this is gonna be Travis Griffith from Des Moines, Iowa, or.
Des Moines, it's French for the middle.
Des Moines, yeah. I never been there, man, but I know the wrestling is good. Like I say, the wrestling is really good. And the football is good, too.
Welcome. While I'm here.
Yeah, man. I'll eventually get out there and the states I've been to, all East Coast and Texas. That's in Missouri. That's all I've been. And then I joined the Air Force, Texas, and then went to trade school in Missouri. And say again?
Go to Lackland?
Yeah. Air Force is Lackland. So you go to Lackland.
Yeah. Basic. So yeah. Yeah.
So you go to Lackland, and that was my first time on an airplane, and everything, man.
Yeah.
Went down there, and then I've been all over since Iraq. 3 years. I spent 3 years in Iraq, pretty much, and in Germany and Japan and everything. Yeah. So it's crazy how that works, but. Yeah, man. And one thing with all that travel shit, it just kind of, I think the more you travel and you've been around, you've been out, you appreciate shit more than some people who just stay in Baltimore or they just stay in Michigan or whatever. They don't see, what everybody else got to deal with and shit, man. So it's cool there. But hey, man, I don't want to start a conversation again, man. Again, brother, thanks for your time. Again, I'll definitely link your stuff down there at the bottom. If you got I'll get with you offline for your social media links, and so I'll make sure I hit all those for you. So the guys there, if you're in Iowa and you want to get work done and everything, definitely hit this man up. It's worth the drive. I watched this guy at work, man. He does great stuff out there, and he's modest, but I'll tell you, man, the shit's good, man. So definitely, it's worth the money. So definitely get with him if you want to get the work done. You got, you want to do cages, you want to do all this stuff, if you got to do that stuff like that. So definitely look him up and everything. So again, it's gonna be Travis Griffith. I say Griffin. I got a lot of Griffin buddies, man. That's what I say. But Griffith, man. Thanks guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for listening. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share. The channel is growing. Some person commented on the last video. And the thing is, when I'm doing the podcast, I don't realize if I'm talking too much or not. So that's why I was asking questions and letting them talk, man. So I definitely want to. The one guy pointed out, like the host was speaking too much or whatever. So I'll try to work on that. Personal thing, nobody's perfect. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for the feedback. Send your questions to podcast@pinkostar.com. And again, Travis, thank you. And this is going to be Donnie signing off from South Japan and Travis from Iowa. And see you guys later.